We have a lot to discuss tonight, including apparently the next basketball coach at Mizzou, Dennis Gates. It's time for our Sunday conversation, and we are thrilled to have in studio. In fact, this is our first live guest in 2 years, Randy Karraker, the great talk show host at ESPN Radio. Randy, thanks for being a part of the program. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Honored to be here. Thank you.
This is like old times.
It really is,
We did
yeah.
this 20 years ago.
We did.
All right, let's get to it. It looks like Dennis Gates is going to be the new head coach at Mizzou. I don't know if they're going to win the press conference, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is to win games for the next 4 or 5 years. Your gut feeling.
When word came out on Friday night, the industry people, and Pete Thamel from ESPN broke this story, said that this is a really good coach. I have not seen Cleveland State. I couldn't tell you what he does. But when industry people are all in on a guy like Gates, I feel good about that. And I know that a lot of Mizzou fans wanted Kim English to be the coach, but Frank, I go back to two things. Number one, a lot of Mizzou fans wanted Kim Anderson to be the head coach too, and that didn't work out very well. And I don't think you can go into the SEC season with a guy that only has 1 year of head coaching experience.
And what I like best about Gates is the fact that he worked with Leonard Hamilton. And say what you will about Leonard Hamilton, he won a lot of games for a lot of years and always had unbelievable talent. He always had more guys 6'4" to 6'9" who could play. So if he's a Leonard Hamilton apostle, I think there's a shot.
He's had a ton of top 100 players. He's had an NBA lottery pick in Jonathan Isaac. There's no doubt that he can identify players and go out and get them.
All right, next up, let's talk baseball. How concerned are you right now with Jack Flaherty? I mean, let's face it, he hasn't pitched in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm always concerned with a shoulder, and particularly with him, because like you say, 20, he basically lost to COVID. 21, lost more than half the season, and so far early on this season with the shoulder. I'm always concerned about a shoulder, and I'm particularly concerned about the ball club because last year they went out at the All-Star or at the trade deadline, and they got both John Lester and J.A. Happ. They didn't go out during the offseason to get anybody to protect themselves in case they had the same sort of a situation arise.
Plus, they're a really good team if, like, Miles Michaelis is your 4 and not your 3. Everybody moves up. I mean, you needed Flaherty to be your 2 or your 1.
Right, and Adam Wainwright, as much as we love him, he is 40.
Yeah.
Dakota Hudson's coming off an injury. We don't know how many innings he's going to be able to give him, certainly not 160. We don't know about Steven Matz at this point, you hope. And then Michaelis, who's had less than a dozen starts over the course of the last couple of years.
Can you expedite the learning curve with Matthew Liberatore? Can he get 30 starts this season? Could he be the guy?
I don't think you give him 30 starts. Again, I think the Cardinals will be inclined to limit his innings. If I were in charge, I would want Liberatore to do what Adam Wainwright did in 06. I'd want him to spend a year in the bullpen rather than expecting him to go out there and go to the post every 5th day.
All right, the Blues have an interesting day tomorrow. NHL trade deadline, 2 o'clock Central Time. The name Binnington was out there. The story broke from a very credible NHL reporter. Do you think something big happens before 2 o'clock tomorrow?
I think all the small moves are gone. I don't think that there are small moves. I think if the Blues make a move, it's got to be a big move. Hampus Lindholm is off the market. Mark Giordano came off the market today. So it's going to be hard to get a medium-level defenseman. So I think you're talking Jacob Chychrun from Arizona. And what Jamie Rivers brought up on our air the other day through Frank Saravelli was Binnington to Toronto, Chychrun to St. Louis, and prospects and picks to Arizona. I would be really intrigued, but boy, what a gamble, because you've got a goalie in Ville Husso that's going to be an unrestricted free agent after this year. What if he wins?
Yeah, and what if what happened Saturday, could that affect something where Husso gave up 5 goals on 27 shots? Maybe Doug Armstrong thought, I'm going to do this, and then Husso has this performance. Maybe he can't.
I would be more inclined, if I were the Blues, to take my chances with the group of defensemen I have rather than take my chances without Jordan Binnington on my roster.
But is this roster good enough to beat Colorado?
No, but I don't think even if they make a move, they'll be good enough to beat Colorado. That's how good the Avalanche are this year. And by the way, they're loading up. They've made 2 deals in the last week that have really enhanced their chances in the playoffs too.
All right, Mizzou football has a chance to really be exciting, mainly because of Luther Burden III, who put on a show yesterday in the spring game. What do you think?
He apparently, by all accounts, looks like a man among boys. You see here, making the catch on the sideline. don't expect him to be the savior, but expect him to be dynamic. He's a big-time SEC player. From day one, he'll make an impact, but he's not the only guy that Mizzou needs to step up. And this is a league that's all about the trenches. It's all about the lines of scrimmage, and Mizzou needs to upgrade there.
JT Daniels, the 4-star from Georgia, was there yesterday, and he's obviously looking for a place. Oregon State is in the mix. I wonder if he sees Luther and thinks, you know what, I'd like to throw this young man.
Yeah, and they also had the quarterback that made his way to LSU. He was in a couple of weeks ago. You can never have too many good quarterbacks, and if Mizzou could land Daniels, who started off at USC, by the way, and then went to Georgia, they would be in pretty good shape.
So what's success for them next year? Gut feel.
I would say that if they could get to 8 wins, if they could be 8-4, that would be a huge year for them. I don't see them winning much more than 8.
Welcome back to Sports Plus.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
Randy Karraker from ESPN Radio. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back after this.